And after that, you guys mentioned like getting all these shows and all this attention. What was the craziest thing that has really happened to you guys, either on tour or it could be like a fan experience or like a holy shit, we like this is our life now type of moment. Like what's the one thing, if you can even narrow it down to one thing that really just sticks out?
We can't go into too many particulars, but we had a tour manager, an ex-tour manager, steal our money and spend it on prostitutes one time.
Okay, that's not what I was expecting to hear.
Oh yeah, okay. That
Wow.
was a long time ago, but he,
Yeah,
he
you
got
finally
fired.
made it when you have somebody stealing your money.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of cool moments. There's lots of weird ones like that. Yeah, that's quite the story. We don't need to necessarily get into that, but yeah, or we can if you want.
I mean, if you want to get into it, go for it.
Well, it was in Memphis like 10 years ago, but it was pretty wild. Yeah, it was like a lot of money at that time, but I wanted to like murder the guy, but I remember our manager at the time was just like, there'll be many other shows, many other tour managers, many other things. Let it go. It's not a big deal. So we put him on a bus in Memphis and sent him home. He had to take a long bus ride home. So that was punishment enough.
Were you able to get any of the money back? Like,
I didn't want to have to
we
go
did.
through all the brothels of Memphis to try to find it.
Yeah, we didn't pay him. We refused to pay him, but it was yeah, it was a very, one of those moments. It sounds like it's out of like a rock and roll book where your tour manager comes to you and says that somebody stole all the money. I mean, when you're touring in the States, you can't make deposits as much as you can in Canada. So if you make money, you get paid cash on a show or cash for merch. You're like traveling with a considerable amount of money. So you hire people like this guy to take care of that. And he claimed that it got stolen. And then we later sort of like suspected that something was more to it. Plus, like we kind of gathered that we had an adjoining room, and there was definitely some funny business going on in that room next to us. And so we eventually got some security footage.
Funny business.
And yeah, determined that he had not one but three prostitutes come to his room and spent / lost all of our money to that. So yeah, there's a good you're in the mix of rock and roll right there, where you have something like
that.
Yeah, that's like a classic rock and roll story from back in the day. Like that's I feel like you haven't made it as a rock and roll group until something like that happens. Like that's
it's a rite of passage, right?
Yeah, exactly. But on the more positive side, things like where you go to a country where someone doesn't speak your language and they sing your songs back to you, like that's always a really cool. If you can play a show in Germany or something like that, and you have a group of people that are all singing some music back to you, and then you try to talk to them after the show and they can barely speak English. It's like a pretty powerful thing, or a powerful thing to go somewhere you've never been before and have somebody, singing your music back to you. That's a pretty incredible. That's a pretty good, like you've made it kind of, experience for sure.
Yeah.